Sulaiman to Prophet Musa alayhi salam. Very interesting. Prophet Musa alayhi salam with Egyptians and the pharaohs. We see the Prophet Musa alayhi salam didn't get the same miracle as Prophet Noah and Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam. Different miracle. Prophet Musa's miracle was magic. Okay? And if you go on with the story, Prophet Musa, and one of the biggest stories in the Quran, tells in detail how Prophet Musa was. I was a couple of months ago. I was walking in the street, and me and my wife, and we saw one of the Jehovah people, okay, and they were trying to get into an address somewhere. So I was trying to help them out. While we were trying to find the address, he was mentioning about the Quran is a typical of the Bible. Bible is the same thing like the Quran, and the Quran is a copycat from the Bible. I said, this is not true. You haven't read Quran. And I will tell you, I told him I don't have much time, but I will tell you in a very small thing that the Quran says, the Bible didn't say, and now in a day it proves that the Quran is right and the Bible missed it. Bible spoke about Prophet Moses, and the Quran spoke about Prophet Moses. I agree with that. But the Bible didn't finish up the story of Prophet Moses and the Pharaoh. All we know that Prophet Moses, the Pharaoh died. Quran spoke in detail about what happened, and he finished off the story of the Pharaoh. Allah says that the Pharaoh died. We killed the Pharaoh. Allah destroyed the Pharaoh in a river, and he got him out of the river to be an example for the people. He got him out of the river to be an example for the people until the day of judgment. Now, why did the Quran add that section? Why was it so important for the Quran to add the section? Why the Quran says we took him out of the river to be example for the people? Go look in the Museum of England. You will see the Pharaoh there. Goes from everywhere in the country, the Pharaoh now. And as historians believe that he's the Pharaoh. And if you look at the mummies of most of the pharaohs, a lot of people say this is the Pharaoh who was with Moses alayhi salam. He's dead, but he's alive. He's in shape. If you look at his face, you will see his face. Allah says in the Quran, and we got him out to be an example for the people. Got him out of the river. He didn't die in the river and sank. No, Allah took him out of the river. So he died, but his body is on the earth, saved. Allah says in the Quran, and we got his body saved outside of the river, to be an example for the people. Saved. You know how people, when they die, a couple of weeks ago, you open the grave, you can't see their face. Their face will be out. Okay. Where are we? Okay. Where were we? Okay. We took the body out from yes. So, in the Quran it says that Allah took the body out of the Pharaoh, saved. He saved the body. It wasn't, you know how people, as I said, people were in the grave. You open their grave, you can't even see their face. The shape of the face changed. Now the Pharaoh, up to this day in the museums, 3,000 years and more, and his body is still the same. Nothing happened to the body. And this by itself, something that not many people care about, but it's a miracle. It's a miracle in the Quran. One of the thousands of miracles that Quran has. Thousands of miracles. But as an answer to those, to the Jehovah person, this is what I answered him. That's the answer that I gave him. I was in a hurry, so I didn't stay much with him. But that was one of the things that I told him. Now, as we were saying about Prophet Musa alayhi salam, that Prophet Musa alayhi salam got a power of the magic. Why was it magic? Because his people were experts in that field. That's all they know. If you want to bring the miracle, bring it in what their people are experts in, for two reasons. If you bring a miracle for the people who believe in that, they will know the truth. Prophet Moses went to the Pharaoh and says, I have the message from God, from Allah. Send the son of Israel with me and don't harm them. I got you. I'm coming to you with a message from Allah and believe in God. So the Pharaoh says, if you don't stop, I will kill you or harm you badly. Prophet Moses says, can I show you a miracle? He says, go ahead. So he put his hand under his bucket, under his arm, and he got out his hand and it's sliding up. There was light coming from his hand. So as soon as and small other miracles. So as soon as the Pharaoh saw these miracles that the Prophet Moses made, what did he say? He says, he's a magician. What a great magician he is, Moses. But did he continue on saying, I will still harm you? No. He couldn't say that because they were so afraid of magic. So the Pharaoh stopped on saying, I will kill you or harm you. He didn't say that anymore. He will say, is that what you do? Already, I'll bring my magicians. They were experts in magic. So, and let's make a day. My magicians will meet you and we'll have a challenge. So Prophet Moses says, yes, let's make it the holiday. On the holiday. On the holiday was where everybody gathered in the city. Okay. So they said, so the Pharaoh sent his people to the towns to bring every magician they know. Say, all the magicians came in front of the Pharaoh. And the Pharaoh says, we need to challenge Moses. He's coming with a great magic. They said, the magician says, are we going to get anything if we beat the magic of Moses? And by this sentence they made, it proves how much power those people had, the magicians. The Pharaoh used to say, I'm the Lord. I'm the Lord of the creation. This is what the Pharaoh says. And look what the magicians, are the magicians scared? No, they're not scared. They told the Pharaoh, are we going to get anything? They don't care, they don't care about his power or what he says. That proved how much power those people had at that time. So the Pharaoh says, yes, absolutely, and you be close to me. The challenge started. Three kind of people were there at that time. The Pharaoh and his advisors and his kingdom. And his advisors and the government officials, as what we call them now. Okay? And the regular people, right? Regular people who gather to watch. And the magicians. Three kind of people were there. Okay. The Pharaoh and his people says, let's see and what the result will be. So the magicians stand in front of who? Moses, and says, do you want to throw or should we go first? Do you want to go first or should we go first? Prophet Moses says, you go first. So the magician had stakes in their hands and throw it on the ground. And the woods and the stakes, whatever they had in their hands, became snakes. So everybody says, whoa, what a great magic, beautiful. So Moses had a stake in his hand and he threw it. It became a huge snake and it ate all the snakes. Now, at that point, watch this. All the magicians fall down to the ground and says, we believe in God. All the who? Magicians. Did the government officials went down? No. We don't know. Did the regular people went down to the ground to believe in God? Not many. We don't know that. Or we know that the magicians fall down. Not many people. Very few. The main people who every magician fall down to the ground and says, we believe in God. Why? Because they know what's magic, what's not magic. To the Pharaoh, this is a beautiful magic and this is a beautiful magic. They made snakes and he made a snake. What's the big deal? This is magic and this is magic. So they made snakes and he made snakes. What's the big deal out of them? Okay. Big deal was those people understand what's magic, what's not magic. The Pharaoh and his people don't understand. They're just watching. Okay, snakes and other snakes. Okay, good. The regular people also same thing. They made magic and he made magic. What's the big deal? But the magicians, since they know and they're experts in that field, they know the truth. They know what's magic, what's not magic. What they make is magic. When they see something like this, what Musa made, this is real. It's not magic. It can come from a human being. It has to be coming from somewhere else. It has to be God. So what Musa says is the truth. So all the magicians went down to the ground and they became best believers. The Pharaoh says, how could you do such a thing without my permission?